Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my fangirl favorites for January 2020. Okay, so let's get going. As always, a quick disclaimer. Anything that I'm about to talk about in this particular video, I'm not going to have any sort of spoilers, so continue to watch freely if you wish. So yeah, let's get going. I don't have too terribly much to talk about, which is a good thing, is that'll make this video short, make my life easier, make you happy too, probably watching this. So yeah, you know, I usually start off same old, same old. How about we start with some video games this time? You guys, I usually start like right into movies and television. How about I start with video games for a change? I've really only been playing one video game this month, and that's with my sister. We've been replaying The Last of Us because the next Last of Us game, The Last of Us 2 or whatever, is it called The Last of Us 2? Does it have like a subtitle or anything? I don't think it does. Either way, the next Last of Us video game is coming out, I believe, in April, if I'm not mistaken. So me and my sister, we've been replaying the original The Last of Us because, you know, refresh our memories about what happened in the game before we do head into the second game. And oh my god, seriously, I just love The Last of Us, you guys. The Last of Us is just such a game changer when it comes to video games. Just its look and its style, the way it tells narrative, the way it depicts its characters, just everything about it. The Last of Us, it's like more than a video game, you know. It's like you're practically watching a very lengthy movie, or if you want to think of it like a TV series, because it's so freaking long. It's just such a fantastic, emotionally gripping video game, and you can't say that about too many video games out there. And yeah, that's what I personally look forward to when I'm watching a video game, because yeah, I don't really, like I've mentioned, I don't particularly really play video games because I'm not really good at playing them. I really like just watching video games. So yeah, when my sister's playing a game, I tend to watch her play the games. But yeah, for me, since I'm not playing a video game, what I'm looking at is character and story, and that's what's kind of keeping my interest. And yeah, that's why I love The Last of Us so much, and I definitely consider it one of my top favorite games ever. I don't know if it would be my #1 favorite game or my #2 favorite game, because yeah, I've mentioned this in the past, I freaking love Detroit Become Human, so it's kind of a tie there. It's like, do I love Detroit more? Do I love The Last of Us more? I'm really not quite sure, because I love both of them so much. They have such fantastic characters and narrative. So yeah, that's really all I've been doing with the video games this month, is just rewatching The Last of Us and getting refamiliarized with the world and the characters and where we left off and whatnot. Yeah, I've not even given a synopsis of what The Last of Us is even about, and just in case you've never played the video game, if you've never played The Last of Us, it's a game that was released quite a number of years ago, and it takes place in like a contemporary setting, and it follows a guy named Joel, and he's living in this post-apocalyptic world which has essentially been overrun by almost zombie-like creatures. You can almost parallel The Last of Us to something like The Walking Dead, but yeah, they don't call their zombies, they don't call them zombies, they call them clickers. And yeah, there's like a virus that has, you know, messed with people and turned them into these creatures, and it's a post-apocalyptic world, kind of zombie-like, if you want to think of it that way. And yeah, your leading hero that you're following, Joel. He's on this mission to save this young, like, teenage girl named Ellie, and Ellie might possibly have the cure to the disease, or whatever. I'm giving you a very, very vague, basic summary of the whole story, but that's essentially what it is, and it's such a good game. You guys, if you've never played The Last of Us, I highly recommend it, because I think you're seriously missing out if you've not played it. So, moving on from that, I guess I'll hop into, television now. Like I said, I always start with television. I figured I'd start with something different for this month's video, but yeah, I'll segue into television now, because that's pretty much all I like to do is watch television. For starters, literally at the very beginning of the year, January 1st, because I know in the UK they got Dracula, and then Netflix, we got Dracula over here in the United States. So yeah, on Netflix, January 1st, or no, sorry, January 4th, I believe it was, I watched Dracula on Netflix. It's a 3-part episode series. The episodes are like an hour and a half. I watched that. A very weird, interesting show, but very good. A very interesting take and adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And yeah, I'm not going to spend too terribly much time talking about Dracula, because I do have a video review for the series coming up, so stay tuned if you want to know more about my thoughts and feelings about Dracula. It is definitely a zany, weird show, but I personally found myself enjoying it, but I definitely had some things to say about it. So yeah, if you happen to watch Dracula, stay tuned to that review coming up sometime in the future. And then another British show that I've been watching, Sanditon. Sanditon originally aired in the UK sometime last year, but we just got it just now in the US here in January, and yeah, I've only watched like half the season so far at this point that I'm making the video. But yeah, Sanditon, a British show, like I said, based off of the final unfinished book by Jane Austen. Jane Austen died before she can finish writing Sanditon, so it's like there's some of the book and then you don't know the ending. It's like, how does it end? And it stars Rose Williams and Theo James. Theo James looking particularly fine, you guys, I gotta say. And yeah, I am loving Sanditon, you guys. I wasn't sure how much I would like it or enjoy it or whatever. I wasn't quite sure. But I'm just pleasantly surprised with Sanditon. I'm just absolutely loving it. It's really witty and funny. I wasn't expecting it to be as humorous as it is. And yeah, I think just a very compelling story going on, because yeah, it follows Rose Williams, her character. She's kind of a girl from a small town, and she gets invited to go to this beach resort, essentially, and it's called Sanditon, and yeah, Sanditon is trying to attract like wealthy clients, and you know, kind of trying to turn it into like a spa and a beach resort and whatnot. And yeah, Theo James's character, he's the brother of one of the characters who's like backing this whole thing to make Sanditon a success and whatnot. And it is Sanditon. It's so good, you guys. If you've not been watching Sanditon and you love British period dramas, this is definitely right up your alley. And then, I guess, just keeping on going with British television, I freaking love British television, you guys. Doctor Who returned in the month of January as well, and I had my reservations heading into this next season of Doctor Who, because last season of Doctor Who, because that was the new season that started with Jodie Whittaker as the new female version of the Doctor, and I had my concerns at first about Jodie Whittaker, because I didn't know how I felt about a female version of the Doctor. It just was a strange concept to me initially, but I really fell in love with her as the Doctor, but unfortunately, I do feel like I just did not enjoy her first season that much. There was a very small scattering of episodes that I did like, because I think there was maybe about 10 episodes her first season, and yeah, I think maybe there was only 3 in total out of 10 episodes that I particularly enjoyed. So yeah, her first season for me just kind of fell flat, and a lot of the episodes felt very heavy-handed, and just, they didn't feel like Doctor Who to me, to be quite honest. So yeah, I had my reservations heading into the next season of Doctor Who, and I'm glad to say, you guys, I feel like I have fallen back in love with Doctor Who, because I think it's been quite a number of years for me. I feel like one of the last seasons that I really truly enjoyed was probably one of Matt Smith's seasons, but like one of his earlier seasons, you know, like probably his second season, because I loved Matt Smith's first season, and then his second season kind of a bit of hit and miss areas for me, but overall I liked his second season. And then yeah, it's like halfway through Matt Smith's era, I kind of fell out of love with Doctor Who, and then yeah, Peter Capaldi, it's like Peter Capaldi, I liked him as the Doctor, but yeah, once again, just a lot of episodes I didn't particularly like that much, and yeah, just nothing ever felt like David Tennant's era, you guys, because I am definitely a David Tennant Doctor Who fangirl, and that's just how I started. But yeah, this latest season of Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker seriously is such a good season so far, and it feels like Doctor Who, whatever that means, I suppose, whatever it means to me, I guess. It just really feels like Doctor Who, and it just feels like it's gone back to basics, I suppose. Basics as far as just the stories they're telling and the humor, and they don't feel like they're trying so hard. That's the thing. I feel like last season was trying too hard. It was trying to have these deep messages and themes, and it just wasn't working for me because it felt heavy-handed and on the nose for a lot of the episodes. And yeah, this season, it still has things to say, but they're done in a more subtle way, you know, like once the episode's over and you're thinking about the episode, then you're like, oh, okay, I know what this episode was exploring, what it was trying to express, you know, and that's how I think it should be. You know, you should walk away from an episode of television thinking about it after the fact, and then drawing conclusions and comparisons, you know. I really hate when things are just heavy-handed, on the nose, like I said, because it doesn't make television watching very enjoyable to me at all. So yeah, I've been freaking loving this season of Doctor Who, you guys. It just feels back to form, it feels fun again, and yeah, we got the return of one of the most classic villains of Doctor Who, and I am loving it. So yeah, anybody else watching Doctor Who? How do you feel about this season? Are you loving it as much as I am, or do you still not like it that much? And then the other show that I've been watching, it just finished up this month. It started last month, actually, and at the very end of 2019, but it finished its run here in 2020. Servant is a Apple TV show. Good God, you guys, there's just way too many freaking streaming shows. But Servant is a Apple TV streaming show. It takes place in a contemporary setting, following a married couple played by Toby Kebbell and Lauren Ambrose. And yeah, also Lauren Ambrose is her character, her brother, who is played by Rupert Grint from Harry Potter fame. And yeah, it follows this married couple who they had a baby recently, but the baby died very tragically, and you don't know how the baby died exactly. You don't even figure that out until you get closer to the end of the season, once some things start to get revealed. So that's kind of the big mystery. How did the baby die? Was it accidental? Was it on purpose? What's up with that? The thing is, though, this married couple, in order for the wife, Lauren Ambrose's character, in order for her to kind of cope with this loss of her baby, she is given like like a therapy baby, however you want to think about it. It's like, it's a doll. It's a literal doll that she's kind of taking care of, and it's a substitute for her missing baby to help her emotionally and psychologically. Because yeah, she thinks the baby is her real baby. She doesn't really particularly know that it's a doll. So in the meantime, she hires a nanny to take care of her baby, who is actually a doll, you guys. And the nanny comes, and the nanny is played by Nell Tiger Free, who you might notice she was Myrcella Lannister from Game of Thrones. And the nanny comes, and I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, you guys, because this literally happens at the very, very end of episode 1. I'm not gonna consider this a spoiler. So yeah, when the nanny comes at the very end of episode 1, the baby is no longer a doll anymore. The doll becomes a human baby. So you go through the season wondering what's up with the baby. Is this their real baby? Did this weird mysterious nanny turn the doll back into their baby? Or is the baby kidnapped? Is it the nanny's baby? Whose baby is it? There's so many freaking questions. Yeah, guys, it's not even funny. And yeah, the show, what I love about the show, I mean, it's also by M. Night Shyamalan. I believe it's produced by M. Night Shyamalan, so you know there's some craziness in store. And what's also fantastic about the season is that it's 10 episodes, but get this, you guys, 10 episodes that are only like 30 minutes a piece. So that makes it so easy to watch, because you don't have to sit and invest in hour-long episodes of television. You know what I mean? It's 10 episodes of 30 minutes, of 30-minute episodes, and it's just so good, and it tells a very tight, focused story, I think. So yeah, has anybody else been watching Servant? It's such a weird, quirky show. It's like darkly comedic, and it can be rather grotesque and gruesome, because yeah, Toby Kebbell's character, he's the husband. His character, he's like a chef, and he creates dishes for restaurants, essentially. And he stays at home, essentially. His job just leaves him at home, just concocting recipes. And good lord, whenever he's cooking, it can be rather grotesque and graphic, because there's like one episode where he's making something with an eel, and it just viscerally shows you him killing the eel and preparing it, and it's so gross and graphic. But then yeah, the final product, because the final product doesn't really even look like an eel, if I'm not mistaken. It's something like really grand and pretty to look at, and it's like, ooh, I want to eat that. But yeah, before that, it was all very gross and graphic with the killing of the eel. So it's such a weird show. There's elements that are grotesque, there's moments that are just darkly humorous, and yet add on top of that, you have the mystery of the baby, the mystery of the nanny, what's going on. There's so much like religious symbolism going on. It's a show that you definitely have to watch everything going on around, you know, because there's so much you gotta read into with what people are saying, what's going on in the background of something. So yeah, has anybody else been watching Servant? Because it is seriously just a very captivating, interesting show, and I don't know too many people who have taken the time to sit and watch it, but it's well worth it if you happen to have Apple TV. If you happen to have it, definitely check it out. So you guys, that is it for my monthly fangirl favorites video. In the comments below, what have you guys been fangirling or fanboying about? It could be music, movies, television, video games, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you happy and excited for the month. Just let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.